So today on Project Shop, we're back over here with the shed. We're going to finish that right after we finish putting up this fence. So we had an incident with our sheep the other day, and we were going to build this little expanded pen anyway for the little pigs. We put them sheep in that thing temporarily the other day while I secured that other place, and they got along good with the pigs. We got Dakota over here, and he's helping me secure this fence real quick. We had to go back here. Now over here there was 2 posts and the 4 strands of barbed wire. Unfortunately, that post was already leaning in, and then I went and kind of pushed on it and I cracked it. So unfortunately, we got some fencing to do out here, and that post down there was already cracked. So what we did, it's still secured. Like, the barbed wire is pretty stout and kind of holds it up. That's interesting that the top row is on the outside. Anyway, I took some of that unistrut stuff, or I had a Dakota, went back on the other side of the fence and drove it in just so, like, they don't push through the bottom of the fence there. We're gonna have to tighten that up into that corner there, even though that thing is broken. But yeah, they're gonna have a nice little area back here. That thing over there, it's like a lot of sun. There's not much shade they can get into. This area is a lot bigger, and they'll have friends. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them out here, and then you know, we'll let them roam around for a little bit, and then we'll open the pigs and let the pigs out and see how they like their new little area. Hopefully they'll, you know, get used to it, and we'll be here working all day, so they'll kind of be used to us around, and I'll feed them a little bit of kibble, and yeah, we'll have a harmonious relationship with our new sheep and our little piglets. So we're not gonna waste any time yapping. Oh, and we got we're gonna be putting, I'm gonna come in here with that machine and clear some of this out, and then we're gonna take more of this fence. We're gonna have to go get some more of it, but we're going to eventually put 3 posts, one here, one here, one there, and we're gonna make another small little pen. That way it's gonna go down that way and then back to this thing. And what I'll do is I'll come off of this little thing and make another shelter right there, and then we'll be able to open this gate if we want to leave them together. We'll be able to close it, we'll be able to get in from the other side, and basically we'll have another little area that we can put animals, bring in some babies or whatever we need to do, if we need to separate them. But we're going to start utilizing all the little areas, and then we're going to start, we have a greenhouse my wife bought. We're going to put it down here. I forget, we're going to put it somewhere over here. I got to pour a footer, and we're going to start our plant with this row right here on this side of the fence, and on that side of the little fence there we're going to start planting fruit trees. So hopefully in like 2 years we'll have plenty of fruits and vegetables and herbs and spices, and it's going to be nice. It's going to be a lot of work, getting set up and, you know, maintaining what's here and fixing what's here. But in the long run, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good time, and we're going to have our own food and save a bunch of money. All right, there you have it. So I had a bunch of that unistrut stuff, and I went ahead and just put one in between each post. And then what we did is we tied it with the tie wire. I drove it down, we tied it with the tie wire, then I drove it down just a little bit more to tighten it up, so that the fence is solid against the ground now. Yeah, I think we're ready to bring the sheep over. I am going to probably get a bungee cord or something just to put a little extra on the gate. I don't want to just rely on this latch that's not very I mean, I'm just worried if the sheep slammed into it. I'm gonna go get maybe a chain actually, so that we could wrap this, and then that'll be the quick in and out. But when we're not here, this will actually be chained shut, because if they slammed into this, these little 2 screws are the only thing holding it, and we don't want an incident. So I'm gonna go get my wife. We're gonna get the sheep in here, see how they like it, then we'll let the pigs out, and then yeah, they got themselves a nice little area. Okay, we're making progress all the way around. We've migrated the sheep over here, and we let the little pigs out. They're all happy, having a good old time feast. We went and added extra things. Everything's pretty secure. This here is something to be worked on. I want to get a better spring system right now. I did put chains on here, safety chains, so like when we're not here or at night, we can strap this top and bottom. I nailed it right to the thing so they won't go anywhere. And we have actually, this is gonna be it. There we go. Have one down here so they won't hit the bottom, because the only thing really holding this gate is these 2 screws. And if one of them animals, like that big male, hits this hard enough, I believe he could just blow right through it. But I want the springs on there, that way when my wife's going in and out, it'll automatically close. If someone leaves the gate open, it'll just, you know, close. I'll figure a better system, probably just drill a hole out here a little bit more, because it's kind of close right here. So I'll drill a hole out here, and you know, they should pull harder. I am going to put probably like a shelf here or something for my wife. When she comes in here to feed, she can place the food on top and then not have to worry about like struggling to get through the gate with a bunch of food and water. I am going to run a hose over here so that we can just have a dedicated hose for these guys. Look at them, man, they're happy. The female, I don't know if she's gonna let me do it, but we'll try. They're so funny. Look at their little pot bellies. You guys are so funny. Oh, come here. This is the one I chased around for 2 days. And I kept telling you, man, if you just come to me, I'll bring you back to your family. I don't know if she's like really skinny or what's going on with her. She looks really skinny. I don't know how goats are supposed to look. But we're gonna get them fed, and you know, oh, now you want to walk over here, huh? They're gonna have plenty of food. They're not gonna starve over here at Copper King Ranch. You guys are making a mess, you little pot bellies. Look at you guys. You guys had me chasing you all over the neighborhood. We got the shed over here is coming along pretty good. So we got all the walls up. We got to actually push this over a little bit. This is the wind's been blowing this thing around all day. I have to measure and split the difference and whatnot, and then square this thing up. Well, we got pretty much all the walls up. Still got tons of screws, so this is going to be a tedious thing going forward, but at least I think the hard part is over. So I'm going to hit the time lapse, and we're just going to keep on it. Oh, my wife's got snacks. Excellent. Okay, so I started building this like makeshift I-beam that they have labeled, and they tell you how to do it and whatnot, and bolt it together. Pretty straightforward. You just take these 6 pieces, right? 16, 16L, 16R, 16B, C, and A, right? You bolt them together. Tons and tons of screws and whatnot, you know, all that stuff. Here's the problem. As I'm putting this together, I get to this point here and I'm like, that's interesting. All these holes line up, and then boom, you have 1 hole, 2 holes, and the hole across it doesn't line up. But then, if you look down here, you have 2 holes at the end, and then 1 here. You go down the other side, you have 1, 2 holes. Okay, so I double checked to make sure that my 16R, that's a 16, and that's a 16L. I even had my wife come out here and verify to make sure I wasn't losing my mind. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they mislabeled those 2 pieces. Need to be swapped, because why would you have double things there and then I don't know. I think they mislabeled it, and I'm afraid, like, I went forward in the book. It really doesn't, it's hard to explain everything. There's no, it's just pictures. There's no description, right? Which is no problem if everything is labeled right. So quality control over there in Chinatown is either off, or they have some weird thing going on here. I'm going to actually lay out the next one, and, or actually I could just, what am I looking for? 16R, which is one of these. It is 16R. Right? Yeah. So every single one of them would be like that. And that just doesn't make sense why they would do that. I'm pretty sure either the paperwork is swapped or they mislabeled the end things. I'm going to take a gamble and say that those things are supposed to be swapped, because that makes 0 sense to me. I think what I'm going to do is swap it and then put one up and then find a panel and see what the panel looks like, just to kind of get an idea, so that we don't go too far and then have to take it all apart, because this is some tedious stuff. It says take all 6 of these pieces and bolt them together, right? Which we started doing. But I ran into a problem where the 16L and the 16R were like mislabeled and swapped, because the way these are, all the things line up, and then there's 2 holes at the end there, right? Well, what was happening is, when you bolt it together the way they tell you to, those were basically swapped with, like, yeah, it was like this. They were backwards. So the 2 holes were down here, okay, which didn't make any sense at all. And then none of the holes were really lining up. Now, I swapped it because why would they have it like this and then change it? You know, it doesn't make any sense. But then I get to this last one, and then they, not only did they mislabel it, or I don't think they mislabeled, yeah, they must have. They just sent all the same parts. Like towards the end, we're running it into all the same parts. So I don't know. This is quality control is just not there. So we did get one roof beam up, and holy freaking screws, man. All these little screws. I got one more to put in down here, I guess. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish putting the beams together, get them up, and then I think the next step is either bolt the roof panels on. This thing is really annoying. These screws, they just strip. Like if you tighten that down and you twist it any more than when it bottoms out, there's like no tightening it. It's just get it in there and stop. They just all strip. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. But hopefully by the end of the day, I'll have the roof on this thing at least. And then maybe all these holes around the side, there's something that's got to go there. And then building the doors, it's actually very tedious. I think it could have been done in an easier way. Like these panels should have just like slipped together or something, and then it would have been a lot easier than what's going on here. But hey, it is what it is. We should have it done tonight, or we can start bringing my stuff over here and possibly start removing that other concrete. Okay, now we're about to put the roof panels on, and immediately something's off. Okay, first of all, so the instructions is telling you to put 3 screws, which makes sense because you have the center beam, the middle beam, and then the wall, right? So you're supposed to have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So D4, which is these, D4, does not have any pre-drilled holes in the middle for any type of center. Okay, and then it has 2 holes drilled on one side here for who knows what. And then the same thing with D1. I don't know really what the difference is. Maybe they're swapped back. They're just reversed, I guess. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. We're just going to have to send it. I might have to drill my own hole, I guess. I don't know. But there is 204 screws. And, yeah. And nothing's lining up. Like, I'm having to tweak this, I'm having to move this. Like right now I'm having a hard time just get, you know, I want to start it out nice and straight because I kind of, the rest of them have to go. I can't get that, it's not going that way enough. So yeah, Okay. Yeah, this is exciting. Why does it look like we're missing? Huh. Anyway, we're just going to keep at it. I'm just going to put screws where I can find screw holes. And yeah, hopefully hopefully it kind of comes together at the end. Okay, we got one side pretty much done. Every single panel I had to maneuver, fudge around. And then if you look at the diagram that they give you, you know, these guys, it makes no sense. So first of all, they don't give you a start point. Nowhere on here does it say, hey, start on the back side with D1, you know, or whatever. Probably should have started with D1. I mean, that kind of would have made sense. But there was no definitive, hey, start here. And then if you look at this blow up, it's basically showing D3 and D2 right here. It's saying put D2, which has half a thing, on top of D3. I mean, that's what that picture is showing. I don't know if, you know, I'm interpreting that wrong or what. Let's see. It's literally showing put D2 on top. Right? Now, I'm no roofer, but it would make more sense that the full, the one with the extra down, would go on top of the half of one, because that would allow water, like, could possibly get up underneath and go under here. I don't know, man. It doesn't, it's very vague. There's literally just pictures, no description whatsoever. It was kind of a pain in the butt, because each one of these I had to push up underneath there. Now, I had already started, I was a couple panels in and I wasn't going to unscrew them, because once you screw these things, man, there's like, it definitely loses its ability to screw. Anyway, look at Bo Jingles over here. They're tearing up. They ate all of the green. These were much more green. They've eaten all of the green. The pigs have completely rooted up the ground over here. So, oh, and also I drove this in between each one of these things. Like this property, it came with a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but it came with a couple of these, right? And we went and bought these. And then once I put this whole thing up, hey, little girl, hey, I chased you around for 2 days and now you just come and let me pet you. Yeah. Because now you realize I give you snacks. Anyway, I realized that the distance in between it seemed like they could, the pigs, I'm not worried about these guys, but the pigs could possibly get up under there a little easy. So I had all of this unistrut stuff, and so I went and put it all the way around in between each post just to keep the bottom from getting kicked out. And of course, this one right here, I found the pipe that leads to the back pasture, and or wherever it's going. I found the pipe. When I turn on the water for the animals, that leaks right there. So what I'm thinking is, I'm probably going to dig it up, put a T on it, bring it up, and put a water trough over here. Look at this guy, he's funny. I chased him around for a whole day too. Man, I don't know how you was running around with them big nuts, dude. It was so funny watching him. I mean, we were driving. I felt bad for him because he was tired, man. My wife was on the lawnmower trying to wrangle him. I was running, and we just couldn't get him. And then after he got out of the fence for the second time, I was able to get him to come to, I don't know if he was just tired and hungry, but I got him to come with me with a bucket of shaking the corn, and I was throwing corn on the ground. He came close enough, I grabbed him by his neck and wrestled his big self into the back of my wife's SUV. He's still a little skittish. He's been coming up a little closer. Anyway, yeah, so I drove that right into the pipe. It leaks here. Still get plenty of pressure out there and over at the other one. But we have 2 leaks we have to fix. This one and the one over there. Hey, dude. Like, you don't get enough food, you're just going to tear up all the bushes? I wonder if I threw this in here, would he eat it? This is all the clippings that I... Hey, buddy. Bojangles, come here, buddy. Look, green. Wow. Boy, you're tearing it up. Okay. We'll give him some more of that stuff. Anyway. I don't know what that is, but that's thorny. Yeah, none of the, I literally fought with every single panel. Now I'm gonna do the other side, and I'm gonna start with D1 or whatever, number 1. But that was kind of tedious and exhausting. But I guess it looks good, somewhat. And then there is some trim top. I don't know how I'm gonna get the top trim on there, but there is trim that goes on this thing. And then I don't know, man. This is definitely like, this should be like 3 people on this. Now, I probably should start squaring this thing up. I think I'm gonna get it all together first, and then I'll square it up to the slab and set some anchors so it don't blow away. If we ever do have like a hurricane warning or whatever, I'm gonna go get some of those helicoil anchors, probably like 2, maybe 3 of them, or I'm sorry, 6. And then I'll just put a strap across the top of it, strap it around this way, and yeah, I don't know. It's just a little tiny. This is going to be like for my wife's little lawnmower, and then we were going to come off the side with like a lean-to, but I'm looking at the height of this roof. And I don't want to be bending down constantly, so a lean-to is not going to get it. what I'm gonna have to do is just probably just come off with a higher structure. Something we can park the riding lawnmower. Eventually, probably this thing here, once it's all done, part of it is going to be for our feed. We'll stockpile some feed in here, and then I'll just make sure that it's sealed where nobody can get in, animals or critters or whatnot. We'll still keep it in the metal drums. I guess I'm going to get started on the other one. What a tedious endeavor this is going to be. And this here, I'm going to have to get some screen, because this is just going to be spiders and bugs go right through this. I think anything out here is going to be hard to stop the spiders and the bugs, except for a couple comments in the thing said use peppermint. So I will be trying something like that. But I mean, those spiders are crazy, man. Little tiny cracks like that, you know, they'll crawl right in there. And this is just crappy build quality. Like these holes, man, gosh, these holes just do not line up right. Enough yapping, we got to get back to work, man. We're never going to get this thing done. Okay guys, it has gotten completely dark, and I brought out 2 spotlights, that one and this one over here, and I have the roof pretty much complete. Now these 2 panels that look this color, this is dust, so that'll rinse right off. Bojingles is over here just observing, making sure I'm doing a good job. And this was absolutely one of the most tedious things I've ever done. The sheer amount of screws and little plastic washers you got to put on is insane, okay? But we got them on. There is a cap and some trim that still needs to be put on. I'm done messing with these little screws, and I'll do that tomorrow. The thing about these little screws is, like, I have one of those things for screws where you can put it on and it holds it in there. These screws don't fit in that, and they're small, they're too short, and you got to put the plastic cap in. Everything about these screws is annoying. Okay, now I should have stopped and went and looked for a magnetic tip bit. I would highly recommend, if you do this, go get yourself a very strong magnetic tipped bit, because without it, it was trying my patience and my skills, but I just powered through it either way. You know, once I got in a little rhythm, got myself a little bucket, had it up here, had some hardware in my pocket, because I had to go inside, do these 2. I had to go outside on a ladder and do, without 2 ladders, oh my God, if I had to move the ladder every time. And the thing is, I would have just like, you would have loved to just like stayed inside and screwed all the top and then came back and just screwed. But if you don't do 1 panel at a time, and because there's slots in here, right, so these panels can kind of move around. What I was doing is I was putting, there's 4 screws in each thing. I would put 1 screw in the top to get it kind of lined up, leave it loose. Then I would go down, put all 4 screws down there, and then that one would kind of line everything up. The middle, that was tough. Sometimes I had to dig down on a corner, and it was yeah, it was a process. This is one of the most tedious things I've ever done, aside from some tedious micro scrapping, you know. And then this got all scratched up. It was kind of like that, and then moving the panels around, whatever it is, what it is. And then I'm sitting here working, right, and I'm hearing all kinds of things. First of all, there's something back over here in this wooded area that's just walking all over the place, making all kinds of noise. Then I'm sitting here and I hear something descending this tree, and then he ran back up. Big old raccoon started coming down. I'm like right here on a ladder, and he was like right here. He just started coming down, and then I shined the light on him, and he ran back up. He's up there. I've heard him a couple times. I don't know if he was sleeping up in the top of this tree, but I've been out here for a while. Maybe he climbed up here. I don't know. I don't know if they're living up in here, but I know I've seen 4 raccoons at once over by my pond one night. And then I see them all the time. There's a tree up front. I see them all the time over there. And the other night, I seen an armadillo over by the little shed on the other side. So there's all kinds of wildlife out here. Nothing that is concerning me yet. The raccoons, as long as I don't see them in the daytime, I'm okay with them. If I see them in the daytime, I'm going to immediately shoot them. At nighttime, they're trash pandas. That's what they do. They come out, cause a little bit of mischief. I have a burn pile over there. Every once in a while, if I throw a bag of trash there, and it hasn't happened lately because my wife has a composter now. So we compost any food. The only thing that goes into the trash now is like wrappers. Every once in a while, there'll be like a meat wrapper or something they'll get into. But there's no actual food there for him to eat. I'd just like to know where he went. He went way up in this tree. These trees are huge. They're beautiful during the day, but at nighttime, this Spanish moss is kind of creepy. It's like something out of a horror movie or something, man. And then all the noises. I swear I'm trying to get, I want to get a recording of some of the noises I hear, especially the yipping. So I was talking to a guy I bought some scrap off of. He lives on another block around here. And he was telling me that there's a big pack of coyotes that runs out in there's a huge cow pasture over there. And they live out there somewhere. I'm talking, it's got to be thousands and thousands of acres, this pasture. Because it's like this whole road this way, and then the whole road going down the other way for miles, okay, is this field. And I'm sure they're just running all through there. But at nighttime, man, you want to hear some creepy stuff. I'll hear like the yipping, and then I'll just hear a loud howl, man. And they all shut up. There's something big out here. And then the dude was telling me that, I mean, not even a mile from here, he saw across the street from his house where his kids play a big coyote. So that makes me want to hurry up and get the hog fencing all the way around. Especially, like, I can start with the area that my house is, because my wife lets her little dog out. You know, our little dog, and I don't want anything happening to the dog. You know, I'm not really worried about the raccoons. But if a coyote comes over here because they smell the goats or the pig or the cows or whatever, you know, then we got problems. So anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. I'm super stoked that at least I got the roof on. Now tomorrow there's all these, well, there's one thing I can do by myself is build the doors and probably put the stuff on the roof, the trim. But there's a bunch of bracing that goes all these holes here. Okay, all the way around there's all these holes. And I think it's like 300 or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's nut and bolt. Matter of fact, let's just check. See what my day is going to be like tomorrow. Yeah, see that? Looks nice, man. They got nice roof in here. Got an echo going. I can almost start bringing stuff in here. Now, I'm 6 foot and I got about 4 inches between me and this beam, and I can walk over, but this beam here I gotta be careful with. I'll smack my head on that. Now originally we were gonna park, my wife thought this was, she thought this was big enough to park the riding lawnmower, the regular lawnmower, and my 4-wheeler. 10 by 12 seems like it on paper it seems like a big thing, but this is not that big. This will be perfect for the push mower, and I'll put some shelving in here or something, and you know, we can probably this side here will be feed, and then you know, this side will be whatever she can put all her gardening stuff and shovels and rakes and whatnot in here, and it'll be a little addition to the ranch. You know, everybody's got to have a little lawnmower shed, a tool shed or whatever. Next step is the roofing stuff, all that. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. I can almost do that tonight, but I'm done. My wife made a wonderful brisket. That's door. That's door. Yeah, my wife makes these briskets, and I'm having brisket tacos for dinner. Reinforcing the door. Okay, more door. Man, there's a lot going on with this door. It's like we're building a vault. That door is going to be the most structurally sound thing. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. 130 and then 124. Oh, interesting. So I can, wow, it's just such a ridiculous amount of screws. So it's screws, not nut and bolts. So I am going to have to figure out how. I guess I'll have her help me get it started, and I'll do like every couple, and then I'll come back and screw it all together. And the last step is to anchor the corners. And there we go. Okay. Well, that's it for tonight. Shed's coming along good. Fencing. Oh, I don't know if I showed in this video or another video the fencing. But, yeah. Oh, now you want to come up and be my friend. After I chased you around the neighborhood for 2 days, huh? Now I can pet you. She's a sweetheart. Bo Jingles over there. He's a little skittish. These guys are coming around. I cut down. They trimmed. I'm like, man, they really got brown underneath these trees over here. They ate all the greenery. And then the little bit of shrub that I cut off that's been sitting over here, I was going to drag to the burn pile as I've been working over here, and just grab some of this. Oh, you guys want some more snacks? Look, 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 they're all skittish. It's just a tree. Come on, Bojangles, come get you a little snack. They eating just the green off of that. I probably should see if that stuff is okay for them. They sure like it though. And they sure tore up the bottom of those trees. I hope it doesn't affect them. I did cut some of them. I hope it doesn't put them in a shock. Especially since we had a couple cold nights. We'll see you guys back here in the morning. Alright, we are back at it for the final push. And you can see the what I got done last night. Now I already started putting the trim. I bolted together 3 pieces on the top. This stuff I'm still having to just finagle it together. Anyway, we're just going to keep on pushing until this is done. I want to be able to load my stuff. Wow, got a huge gap here. That'll all tighten up when I bolt all them things on. Got a lot of flies over here. Oh, someone really started digging there. I'm just going to keep plugging along. We should be done by early afternoon on this. There's only really the trim, the doors, the inner thing, whatever that is, and then anchoring it to the ground, which I bought some Tapcons for. So we'll get this thing all squared up. Shouldn't be that much of a problem. But I will say, again, this is one of the most tedious things I've ever done. Okay, so this is where we're at. The roof is done. And I was gonna move right on to the doors, right? And immediately, we have a problem. So it's basically saying, bolt the M1s together with 3 screws. It seems simple enough. They give a diagram to show you where the overlap is gonna be. Okay. And it's calling for 6 nuts and bolts and 4 panels. So we have the M1s. Okay, M1s. M1s, we got 4 of them. Here's the problem. If you look on the diagram, you'll notice 1, 2, 3 holes. And then you can see there's multiple holes here. There's multiple holes here, because the next step, you have to bolt angles, basically frame this out, right? And then, you know, bolt all that to it. So, and then there's supposed to be holes for this. I mean, what is happening here, right? And what do we have? Each panel has 2 holes in the middle. There's absolutely no holes in the top, no holes in the bottom on any of them. So we could only realistically bolt that together like that. And then I have to come back and drill all these other holes myself. That is really, really annoying. Here's the deal. I got other things to do. This is already frustrating me. I'm just going to go ahead and skip the door step, screw the walls together, and I'm going to anchor this thing down to the floor. And then when I have a spare moment another day and a little bit more patience, I will do the job that quality control should have done and drill all the holes that's needed for this. That's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't even know at this point. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. It's a nice little tool shed. But for the price, what do you expect? I don't even know what my wife paid, but they delivered it to the house in 2 boxes. So, yeah. We're going to go ahead and do the sides. I'm going to square this thing up the best I can, center it on the slab. Send some Tapcons in there, and we are going to call it a day. I am going to start bringing over the stuff that's underneath the carport so that I can prep for concrete over there. And then I'll have to, I don't even know. That is just really, really annoying. And the thing about this metal is it's so thin. Like, everything about this is so thin. The million screws I put in this kind of tighten this up. So we're going to put another million screws across this, get that secured. I'm going to actually have to have my wife come and hold the pieces while I screw from the outside, at least get it started, and then I can come back through and finish it up. That's going to be a tedious little task there. Yeah, but unfortunately the doors, that's going to have to hold off. I'm just my patience for this thing is crazy. Okay, well, there you have it. That's as far as I'm going to go today. And I'm pretty much going to call it done. I still have the hardware for the door. I'm pretty much not going to deal with that today. I got other things to do, and I can put that on after I install or I come in here and load this up with some stuff. So I'm going to clean this out. I cannot find my mason bits, so I'm not going to spend too much time looking for them. I literally just seen them the other day, and I know I'll probably spend 30-40 minutes to an hour looking for them. I got other things to do. I know I'll come across them. When I do, I'll come put some anchors in, but for now, she's already collecting spiders and ants, so I'll have to spray some of that stuff, get some peppermint or whatnot. And I'm going to come out here and clean all this stuff up, try to chip away, you know, some of this concrete that's along the edge. I'll clean all that up, but this is where that needs to be, you know, screwed down with some tap cons. But that's it. Slab poured, shed built. Oh, here's one of the things I was worried about. I could already see is going to be some type of issue, and I can see it probably building up and holding moisture and probably starting to rust. Is the way these caps are. You can already see leaves getting caught down in here. Now this tree is just going to drop stuff on here constantly, and you can see it's kind of like getting stuck in there. I don't know if you know how much of a problem that's going to be, but maybe I'll blow it out or whatever. I don't know. I think it's a dumb design. And now we have another little shed on the property to store stuff, a little piggy food or goat food or sheep food, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to take lunch. That's going to be it for this series of shed building. I will at some point put the door together. I'm just not in the mood to be drilling and fabricating all the stuff that should have been done, because this was freaking tedious, man. I mean, there must be 1,000 screws in this thing. I don't know. My final thoughts, for what it is, a little tiny shed, I guess it's okay. It's nothing like, you know, I'm not going to be working out of it for sure. It's just going to be storage. And it's going to do its job. I'm going to keep my stuff dry, keep our food dry. Once we start storing the food in here, I'll definitely have to finish the doors, because apparently the raccoon that lives up in this tree somewhere, or I don't know how he got up there, what he was doing, but he was up in this tree. I don't know if he lived there or just got spooked up the tree, but whatever. So now we are one step closer to pouring concrete, because now I have a place. I'm going to clean all this stuff up, get a pallet on the skid steer, and then I can just load the pallet, drive it right in here, offload it, and get my stuff ready to rock and roll, man. It's been a little bit longer than I thought, but hey, we're taking it one day at a time over here, and eventually we'll get everything we need done. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. copper dance before?